Greetings, explorers of the shadows and seekers of hidden truth. You have entered the portal of the unknown, where every forgotten word whispers secrets that echo through the ages, where mysteries buried beneath layers of silence and prohibition emerge for those who dare to see beyond the veil of reality. Here, each revelation is not just recovered knowledge, but a key that unlocks doors to hidden dimensions of ancient wisdom. Welcome to this journey that challenges the conventional narrative, breaks through the barriers imposed by official history, and leads us into a realm where only the boldest dare to tread. Today, we plunge into the depths of hidden knowledge, stepping into the shadows of the forbidden and navigating the mysterious waters of the unknown to unravel an ancient enigma that defies common understanding: the path of wisdom. A riddle wrapped in symbols and metaphors, a secret passed down through generations, a silent call to those with ears to hear. This path, concealed from the eyes of the many, weaves an invisible link between two of the most enigmatic and controversial texts in apocryphal literature, the Gospel of Thomas and the Book of Adam and Eve. Two writings separated by time, yet bound by a common essence, a truth whispered between the lines, a revelation that transcends eras and challenges the established order. The Gospel of Thomas, one of the most intriguing Gnostic writings ever discovered, contains words attributed to Christ that are absent from the canonical Gospels. These are not conventional narratives, but cryptic sayings, teachings that seem to require a key of interpretation to be fully grasped. A call to enlightenment, an invitation to those seeking something beyond the obvious. On the other hand, the Book of Adam and Eve traces humanity's origins, presenting an alternative version of the fall and exile of the first couple. In this account, there is more than just a story of sin and punishment. There is a deep lament, a fragmented memory of a time when humanity walked alongside the divine, an unending quest for redemption, and a return to lost knowledge. What connects these two texts? What do the words of Christ preserved in the Gospel of Thomas have in common with the saga of the first humans narrated in the Book of Adam and Eve? What lies hidden between the lines of these forgotten, ignored, and rejected scriptures, cast aside by the guardians of official tradition? The answer may lie in spiritual awakening, in the revelation of a path leading beyond the illusions of the material world, in the ceaseless struggle against forgetfulness, against the disconnection from humanity's true origin. Prepare yourself, for what we are about to reveal may change your perception of history and the destiny of humankind. Keep your mind open and your intuition sharp, for we are only just beginning this journey. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus speaks of a secret knowledge, reserved for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. A hidden wisdom, not meant for the masses, but for those who dare to seek beyond the veil of common reality. Among the fragments of this lost knowledge, we find a profound declaration in verse 3. If you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are children of the living Father. A phrase that carries within it an ancient mystery, a call to those who wish to break the chains of forgetfulness and awaken to the essential truth of their existence. But what does this self-knowledge truly mean? The answer is not just on the surface of the words, but in the depths of their essence. To know oneself is not simply an exercise in introspection, but a journey toward the true nature of being, a quest for what has been lost, obscured, and forgotten throughout time. This is not merely a philosophical revelation, but a spiritual process, a rediscovery of the divine spark that dwells within every human being. This understanding, according to Gnostic teachings, does not come through imposed dogmas or beliefs, but through direct experience of the truth. This idea deeply resonates with one of the most enigmatic episodes in Judeo-Christian tradition, the exile of Adam and Eve. In the Garden of Eden, man and woman lived in communion with the divine, but something happened that forever changed the fate of humanity. By eating the forbidden fruit, they were cast into a world of pain and forgetfulness. The expulsion from paradise was not merely a punishment, but a separation from a higher reality, a departure from the full awareness of their true identity. Since then, mankind has wandered the earth in search of something it does not always know how to name, a distant echo of what was once rightfully its own. The connection between Jesus' teaching in the Gospel of Thomas And the fall of Adam and Eve suggests that humanity lives in a state of spiritual amnesia. Just as the first couple lost their place in Eden and began to dwell in a world of suffering, so too do we remain trapped in a cycle of illusions, ignorant of our own divine nature. The self-knowledge that Jesus mentions is not just about knowing who we are on a superficial level, but about remembering what we have forgotten. It is a call for us to awaken, to break the chains of illusion, and to return to what we truly are, children of the living Father. But if we have been cast into this world of pain and forgetfulness, how can we find our way back? If the fall has distanced us from the truth, what is the key to our restoration? These questions lead us to an even deeper knowledge, to a secret that few have dared to explore. And as we move forward, we will see that the fate of Adam and Eve, along with Christ's words in the Gospel of Thomas, conceal a message that may change our understanding of the purpose of human existence. In the Book of Adam and Eve, we find a dark account of the fall, a profound testimony of loss and separation. Expelled from Eden, Adam did not merely lose a home. He lost direct contact with God, the connection that kept him in harmony with the Creator and his true essence. The pain of exile was not just physical, but spiritual. A deep void that echoes through the ages and manifests in the human condition to this day. In chapter 3, verse 1, Adam expresses his anguish in a cry filled with despair. "O God, why have you abandoned me in this world of darkness?" Words that resonate with the sorrow of forgetting, of separation, of falling into a state of existence where light has become a distant mystery. This lament is not just the cry of one man, but the voice of all humanity, imprisoned in a world that feels cold, disconnected, and full of uncertainties. Like Adam, every human being is born into a state of ignorance, with no memory of their divine origin, no recollection of once existing in a state of wholeness. Life on earth then becomes an endless search for meaning, a yearning for something that many cannot name but deeply feel within. This void, this sense of being lost, is the echo of that primordial exile. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus speaks directly to this condition. His words are not merely moral or philosophical teachings, but a call to awakening. He teaches that humanity lives under an illusion, trapped in the material world, having forgotten its true nature. In verse 3, he says, "If you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are children of the living Father." Just as Adam laments his loss, Jesus points the way to the recovery of what has been forgotten. It is not just a matter of belief, but of remembrance. Remembering who we are, where we came from, and where we must return. The connection between these two texts reveals a hidden truth. Adam's fall was not merely a punishment, but a departure from light, a forgetting of humanity's true identity. When Adam was cast out of Eden, he entered a state of darkness, and this condition was passed on to all his descendants. Humanity exists in a world where the senses are dulled, where spiritual reality has been veiled by material existence. But Jesus, in the Gospel of Thomas, offers a path back. He does not speak of an external rescue, but of an internal process, the pursuit of true knowledge, the awakening of a dormant consciousness. If Adam mourns his fall and feels abandoned, Christ's teaching emerges as a beacon in the darkness. The message is clear. The light was never completely extinguished. It is hidden, buried deep within, waiting to be rediscovered. But how does one walk this path? How does one escape the darkness and restore the lost connection? The answers lie within the very texts themselves, in fragments of wisdom that point to an even deeper secret, a secret that holds the key to humanity's liberation. The connection between these texts is unsettling, as they reveal a hidden pattern, a secret that transcends time and manifests as a silent call to those who have eyes to see. Both speak of humanity trapped in an illusory reality, separated from its true essence, living in a state of forgetfulness that obscures its true nature. Adam, expelled from Eden, not only lost the physical paradise, but also descended into a state of spiritual darkness, a condition that has persisted through the generations. Similarly, the Gospel of Thomas suggests that humanity lives under a veil of illusions, unable to recognize its divine origin. What binds these narratives together is the search for return, for the restoration of what was lost, a path not traveled through dogma, but by the direct experience of truth. The story of Adam does not end with the fall, but in his relentless search for redemption. Unlike the traditional biblical account, which emphasizes original sin and divine punishment, the Book of Adam and Eve presents a deeper aspect of this journey. Adam and Eve do not passively accept their new condition. They fast, pray, weep, and plead for mercy, trying in every way to reverse the separation between them and God. In their pain, they recognize the need for purification, for enlightenment, for a reunion with what they have lost. This process of repentance and spiritual quest strongly echoes the Gnostic teachings, in which awakening does not occur through mere acceptance of faith, but by the active pursuit of knowledge. Just as Thomas teaches us that truth is not found in words, but in inner experience, Adam reminds us that the restoration of the soul is a path of transformation. In the Gospel of Thomas, Christ does not invite his followers to merely believe, but to find the truth within themselves. He teaches that salvation is not a gift granted by an external authority, but an awakening that happens within each individual. The famous passage, "If you know yourselves, you will be known," is not just a philosophical advice. It is a key to unlocking the mystery of existence, a secret that, if understood, can free the soul from the prison of ignorance. This same idea is present in Adam's journey. He does not passively wait for redemption, but embarks on a path of repentance and self-discovery. His suffering is not just a punishment, but a preparation for something greater. He realizes that his connection with the divine was not completely severed, but that it must be restored. For this, he does not seek answers in the external world, but in the innermost part of his being, in direct communion with God. His lament in the Book of Adam and Eve is not merely a cry of despair, but a call for remembrance, a plea for enlightenment. What these texts teach us is that the fall is not the end, but the beginning of a search. Humanity's exile is not an inescapable condemnation, but an invitation to awaken. Jesus in the Gospel of Thomas and Adam in his pilgrimage point to the same destiny, the restoration of lost consciousness. But how can we walk this path? How can we overcome the illusions that keep us imprisoned in darkness? The answer may be hidden in the next revelations, in the forgotten words that hold the secret to true liberation. The question that echoes through the ages, reverberating across generations and infiltrating the minds of all who seek answers, is, what does it truly mean to awaken? This question goes beyond a superficial understanding of the word. It points to a profound transformation, an internal shift that surpasses the boundaries of common knowledge. If the fall was forgetfulness, the disconnection from essential truth, then redemption is not merely salvation from sin, but the restoration of memory, the recollection of what we were and, more importantly, what we can still become. In this context, awakening is not a single event, but a continuous process of revelation, a journey that demands courage to face the illusions that keep us captive. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus challenges us to break through the illusions of this world and recover the lost knowledge, the very knowledge that Adam sought tirelessly after leaving Eden. Jesus' words are not merely religious teachings. They are a call to urgently awaken from the blindness that prevents us from seeing reality as it truly is. He doesn't promise easy answers or external solutions, but points to the only truth that can set us free, the truth hidden within each of us, a truth that can only be accessed through direct experience and inner searching. In verse 3, he states, "If you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are the children of the living Father." Thus, self-knowledge is not just a path to understanding oneself, but to reconnecting with the divine, a journey that leads us back to what we were before our fall, to a state of full consciousness and union with the Creator. This idea of awakening also strongly resonates in the Book of Adam and Eve, where Adam's quest for redemption is not just an attempt to find forgiveness, but an attempt to recover what was lost, the direct connection with God, the knowledge of his true nature, and the understanding of humanity's divine mission. Adam's lament, "O God, why have you abandoned me in this world of darkness?" is a clear expression of the anguish that arises from forgetfulness, the separation from something greater, the loss of true essence. However, his tireless search is not in vain, for his journey of repentance and learning leads him to a profound process of self-discovery. He begins to realize that the restoration of the soul does not come through an external intervention, but through the awakening of his own consciousness. Just as Jesus teaches in the Gospel of Thomas, true redemption is a return to the inner light, to the wisdom that, although lost, was never completely extinguished. Therefore, the search for truth is not a search for the unknown, but a journey of remembrance. Remembering what we were before the fall, the direct connection with divinity, the wisdom that transcends the limitations of the material world. What Jesus and Adam teach us is that true illumination does not come from an external source, but from the recognition of our own divine nature. Awakening is not something that happens from the outside in, but from the inside out, a process that requires detachment from illusions, courage to face the shadows, and ultimately the ability to rise up and remember who we truly are. This journey, far from being simple or quick, is filled with challenges and moments of doubt. But at the same time, it is a deeply transformative journey that promises us not only spiritual redemption, but liberation from the chains that bind us to the material world. The search for this lost knowledge is the key to awakening, the key to becoming aware of our true identity as children of the living Father. Just as Adam and Eve desperately sought to restore what they had lost, Jesus guides us in the same direction, pointing the way to inner truth, where the wisdom that transcends all the lies of this world resides. But are we still living under the shadow of that exile? In our modern era, amidst a sea of distractions, illusions, and false promises, could it be that we are trapped in the same prison from which Adam tried to escape? Technology, the relentless pursuit of material comfort, and the constant bombardment of information seem to be the new forbidden fruits, distracting us from the truth hidden within, keeping us away from the eternal wisdom that, throughout the ages, has been forgotten. The world we live in offers endless distractions, entertainment, social media, consumerism, but at the same time there is a growing sense of emptiness, of disconnection, as if we are all searching for something without truly knowing what it is. What seems to be a world of infinite possibilities may, in fact, be a sophisticated prison, keeping us distant from true freedom, the awakening of spiritual consciousness. This contemporary reality reflects, in some ways, the very same prison from which Adam tried to escape after the fall. Looking at Adam's journey, we see a man who, after being cast out of Eden, faces a vast and desolate spiritual desert. In his anguish, he tries to find a way back, a means of restoring what was lost. And this desert is not just a physical landscape. It symbolizes the search for truth, the quest for a deeper purpose in a world that seems increasingly devoid of meaning. Adam's search, his lament for the loss of light, echoes in the human heart to this day. Modern humanity, in its frenzy for material achievements, seems to be repeating Adam's journey, unaware that the true way back is not found in the accumulation of wealth or relentless pursuit of social status, but in rediscovering the inner light, the truth that is hidden deep within the human soul. Perhaps we are repeating his journey in a different form, wandering through a spiritual desert disguised as modernity, where the distractions of daily life prevent us from seeing the deeper reality. Instead of seeking true wisdom, we become lost in a cycle of superficiality where answers are often disposable and real connections are replaced by hollow interactions. What seemed to be a pursuit of freedom and happiness now translates into an existential void, a sense that something essential is missing. But could it be that, like Adam, we are on an unconscious journey of redemption? The feeling of lack, emptiness, and disconnection is perhaps the manifestation of that spiritual journey many are undertaking, without even realizing they are on the path back home. The struggle for the restoration of the soul is not a visible battle in the material world, but an inner journey, where the light of truth must be rescued and brought to the surface. Within each of us, just as in Adam, there exists a search for something deeper, something that transcends the superficiality of the world we live in. We are trying to find the way back, but perhaps we are still blind, distracted by a scene that seems more real than it truly is. Adam's exile, like humanity's exile, is not just a matter of physical separation, but spiritual disconnection. The real question we must ask ourselves is, are we truly seeking the truth, or are we merely accepting the distractions of the world as temporary answers to a search that is, in fact, an inner journey? The way back, as Jesus teaches us in the Gospel of Thomas, is not outside of us but within, and only through the awakening of consciousness can we overcome the illusions that keep us bound to the spiritual desert of modernity. This reflection leads us to realize that, just as Adam and Eve did, we are all immersed in a journey of redemption, a return to what we were, what we lost, and what we can still become. What they sought in the darkness of the lost Eden, we also seek in the chaos of the modern age. A reconnection with the divine, a restoration of the soul, and the rediscovery of lost wisdom. Thus, Adam's journey is not merely an ancient story, but a timeless reflection of the human condition, continuing to unfold to this day. The crucial question remains, when, at last, will we break through the illusions and awaken to the truth that is within us, waiting to be remembered? The answer may lie within us. True knowledge, according to Thomas and the story of Adam, is not found externally, but within each of us. For those who dare to see beyond the veil of illusion, the path to true awakening remains open. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus invites us to look inward, to go beyond the appearances and conventions of the material world, and to discover the truth that resides deep within the human soul. Similarly, Adam, after the fall, did not find salvation in material possessions or external solutions. His journey was an internal one, a struggle to reconnect with his lost essence. Like him, we must learn to look within and question the external constructs that separate us from our true nature. Therefore, the path to awakening is a journey of self-discovery, where the truth is not something to be obtained from the outside, but something to be remembered within ourselves. For those who dare to look beyond the veil of illusion, the path to true awakening is still open. This path, though challenging and filled with obstacles, is the only way to overcome the darkness that prevents us from seeing the light. The illusion of the material world keeps us prisoners of our own perception, but by seeking within ourselves, we can begin to dissolve these barriers and access a deeper, truer reality. Awakening is not a one-time experience, but a continuous journey of revision, reflection, and understanding. Every step taken towards truth is a victory over the forces that keep us in the dark. The challenge, however, is great, for it requires the courage to question everything we think we know, to abandon false certainties, and to seek the truth not in ready-made answers, but in the experiences and revelations that arise from an attentive gaze upon our own being. If you wish to explore more of these mysteries, question the realities imposed upon you, and seek the hidden truths in forgotten texts, then the portal of the unknown is the place where your journey can begin. Here, we do not offer easy or superficial answers, but provide the keys for a deep awakening, where the secrets that were left in the shadows of time can finally be revealed. With each video, with each mystery unraveled, we get closer to the truth that has been carefully concealed, waiting patiently to be remembered. Together, we will uncover the secrets that were left in the shadows of time, in the hope that, at the end of this journey, we may all find the way back to the light that never went out, but has for so long been hidden under the layers of forgetfulness.